Good morning, guys. It's already not really morning anymore. It's already past noon. I've been sitting here this entire morning taking care of business things. This is already my third cup of coffee just to stay awake and go through with all of the emails. I actually wanted to go to the studio and show you the new plugin that I got from Isotope, which is really amazing. But I think I will do that tomorrow, where I have the entire day time and can really focus on mixing. But of course I will play around with the plugin. That's usually what I do the first day when I get something new. I just dive in really deep into it and try to find out everything about it so that I can use it to the full potential. You just want my potential. It's actually already so late that it's time to have lunch. Gordon has joined me now for lunch and he's giving me a bit of feedback to some of my tracks, and I got the first beer of the day. Tastes good, no matter what time it is. Now it's a question, another beer or no?
Sure.
You're also drinking a beer?
I'm still with my coffee, but thanks.
So you're bailing and I have to drink
sure.
a beer. I still have to mix something today. But maybe
that like push the flow?
Könnte ich noch ein Alt haben? Danke. Achso, die trinken auch schon Bier.
Yeah.
I'm not the only one drinking beer. That's like very typical German.
Absolutely, yeah.
No problem. Right after noon, you can start drinking. Yeah. Before noon, you have a problem, or you're still drunk from the day before.
Yeah, you have to keep up.
Either way, there is a solution to drink 24/7.
Sure.
Just one really important advice: don't ever drink before making music or any other drug that will kind of take away your skill. I know a lot of people, especially in Berlin, they just like to cloud up their mind and then do music. That's something I can't. I really have to be focused. It's really enough beer for this time of the day. This usually doesn't happen, but I haven't seen Gordon in a long time. And since I'm my own boss, I can just do whatever I want, whenever I want. But at the end, the meeting with him was also about music, business stuff, and also getting feedback for my tracks. And every time I get feedback from someone else, especially when I'm just sitting right next to him, it's really very inspirational. It helps me a whole lot. And even if it doesn't help, it still motivates me to keep on going. And also positive feedback can help you to just make new music. So since feedback is so crucial, let's just do another edition of track submits. The first one is by Daddy FYX. It's actually a collaboration with Diego Mora. They're both 14 years old, so super young. They actually met through my channel, so that's really awesome to see other people finding collaborations here on this YouTube channel. This really makes me happy, because that's basically what this channel is for music producers and music lovers. So they are interested in general feedback and how to market and grow the views and plays even more. So growing the views and everything else is something I will probably just talk in another video. It's a really big topic, and every time I'm doing a track submit, I have to say that most of your SoundCloud channels are pretty inactive, and I think I have a lot of tips for you how to grow them, but in another video. Now it's time to listen to the track. I'm really impressed by this track. It's called Till Dawn, and if you consider that both of them are just 14 years old, it's amazing with 14. I think I just barely started collecting records and DJing. I didn't even have a clue about music production. So if you keep on going and if you keep on making good tracks like this, you will have your first release within the next 2 or 3 years, and then you're still very young. So you have a bright future ahead if you just constantly keep on working and making music. I also like the style. It's kind of progressive house music with a bit of tropical house. The synth sounds are cool and very cheerful. Maybe a little bit too repetitive throughout the track. The kick is really nice, but a little bit too loud. It just takes away the space from the rest of the elements, so it sounds a little bit too bass, sub-bass heavy. Lowering the kick will open up the track a whole lot more, make it also a bit wider and nicer to listen to. Also, the high frequencies are missing a little, but by lowering the kick, this will kind of help already a bit. So let's see what else I have. I always take notes listening to your tracks. Yes, the effect sounds, they sound too much like just taken from a sample pack. I think effects are super important, especially having unique effects. If other producers listen to your tracks, they will immediately recognize these effects as taken from a sample pack. And I think it doesn't take a long time to make your own. It's very creative, makes a whole lot of fun, and makes your track even more unique. Also, the effect sounds were all a little bit too loud, so it's nice to have a crash or a white noise hitting and really emphasizing parts. But if you have them too loud, it immediately starts sounding a little bit cheap and takes you away from just listening to the track. So yeah, that's already all to this track. What I like the most is that 2 people just collaborated. Because of this channel, that's a really good feeling. It feels like it's worth it doing these videos, and I hope more of you will find and collaborate with each other. If you're interested to find someone else to make music with that is also part of this channel, maybe just leave down below in the comments your SoundCloud page so that everybody can listen what you're doing, and I'm sure someone will answer and maybe you can work together. This one is by, I think it's pronounced Jorge Alvarez. He is a dubstep producer and has actually sent me 2 tracks, so I will just choose one of them. I will just go with the first one. It's called I'm a Monster. That's kind of cool.
I'm a monster.
Wow, what an amazing track. This is a full serious production. Dubstep isn't really my style of music. I can't even produce it. I couldn't even imagine how to produce it. It's so detailed, a lot of small sounds. It's almost like having 6-7 tracks in one. So nothing I could really ever do. It's probably one of the most difficult genres in electronic music. I wouldn't even try making a dubstep track. But this one is really good. It's a full track, everything is in there that you need. It has like small vocal bits, build-ups, very interesting, very unique. I only have one advice, maybe make a small intro part, because this track just immediately starts maybe already a little bit too hectic for the very beginning and the intro. You need a little bit, especially if you want to DJ it in a club. So maybe just add 30 seconds at the beginning and at the end. But other than that, amazing track, full production, and this is definitely good enough to be released on a label. I don't have any connections to dubstep labels, so I can't really help, but I'm sure if you send out a couple of demo mails to dubstep labels, they will be happy to release this track. Okay, let's do just one more. Okay, scrolling down, up, finger up, down, and Daniel. Daniel from Colombia. He has been watching my videos. Thank you very much. If you just can take a moment of your time and listen to my new demo, yes, of course. So let's just open it up and press play. So this one has a really nice groove with the chords. I like that they're stopping. This gives it a bit more energy. I also really love the build-up. It's very unique and very detailed how it's like constantly just going up. The drop is also nice, but there are like two main issues with the track that I'd like to address. First of all, there needs to be another kick sample. The kick isn't really good and it's harming the track quite a lot. So if you just take another sample and make the kick a little bit louder, it will just immediately improve the track, especially this drop part where the kick is coming back in. It needs to be a lot heavier, especially for this kind of EDM music. And the second thing is also an issue in the low end. It has to do with the bass. The bass is playing one octave too high. You will need to get it one down and sidechain it with the kick, with a better kick. And then maybe if there are higher bass frequencies missing, just layer the bass with another one, cut away the low frequencies on the higher bass. I think I've showed you that already in another video where it was all about getting the low end right. And I also made already a mixing video where I explained where to place the elements, which is still by far, I think, the most important mixing video I've ever made. I will just link it up at the end of this video if you're interested to check that out. So that's already with track submits. If you want to send me your track, the email is down below in the description. I'm now continue working on the beginning of the end track, the second one with Kaylee. It's actually already all done and finished, and also finished for mastering. I also got all of the feedback, all of the mistakes are gone. But now that I have this new plugin from iZotope, this Neutron plugin, that is just amazing for mixing and opens up a whole nother world. I just have to redo the mixing on this track to improve it before the release. I can't release it anymore like it is right now, now that I know that there is a way to get it even better. And that's really my approach to making music, just trying to get the best result no matter what it takes. Okay, I'm all done with making music for today. I've used the new plugin a lot, almost on every track. It makes it a little bit better. I still have to figure out everything, how it works, because you can do some magical things, analyze tracks, and it's kind of creating presets just for you, and you can route things and mask them and all these kind of things. It's really amazing. It's a new approach to mixing that I really like. Before leaving, I just wanted to address something that also has to do with this plugin that is kind of mixing for you, or at least giving you suggestions for the mixing. I know a lot of people that just refuse to use things like that, and as I said, at the end it doesn't matter. It just matters how the end result sounds and what plugins you use, what samples you used. No one really cares about that. And I know a lot of my producer friends, they try to make the most that they can themselves, which is a great thing, and I also try. But when it, for example, comes down to having a good kick sample, it just doesn't make any sense to get a drum kit, record the kick, process it, and then use it for your tracks. It just won't sound the same as getting one from the sample packs, where someone professional made it that has a lot of experience. Also with sound design and presets, it's the same thing. It's kind of like collaborating with someone else that is kind of making these things for you to choose from and make a good track. Just instead of collaborating together in a studio, it kind of happens over these sample packs, preset packs, and all of the plugins that you buy. I hope you kind of get what I mean. Don't make it harder to make a track than it already is, just by refusing using certain things for no reason. If there's a new tool available, just use it, embrace it, do with it whatever it takes to make a better track, because you can be sure other people will do that, and at the end you're the one losing, wasting your time and doing stupid things instead. We can do today an episode with mixing a track after 5 years.
So it's gonna be 5. Here we go.
One is like nothing. It's not
that's
interesting.
True. Absolutely.